Hello YouTube, this is the battle I had for Quando Ren's theme tournament. So I'm using Diddy Kong Racing theme team, if you don't notice it from my grumpig named Wizpig. This guy's using a That 70s Show theme team, but it's not really. His leads off of a Breloom named Donna, which I didn't think Breloom really resembled Donna in any way at all. And then he switches out into his Chansey named Jackie, which again, completely eludes me. So, yeah. I go into my Infernape and I predict his switch, and so I nasty plot up here. This is a special attacking Infernape. And he goes into his Rankarosu named Fez, which again, makes absolutely no sense to me at all. So I Fire Blasted, and this crit probably mattered, because, well, Rankarosu he's a tank. He always, I have such a hard time with those things. I don't know what to say about it. So he goes into his Voltorosu named Red, which, again, I completely missed the reference. There's nothing there that resembles Red at all. So he goes back into his Breloom after my Stone Edge miss, and I should have predicted this, because, like, it's pretty obvious he's going to go into that. So I know my Donphan can take some hits, so I decide he's the best to be Spored, and so I go into Donphan and he puts him to sleep, and then he continues to Swords Dance up, and I wake up pretty early here, which is good because I can get an Ice Shard off here, and yeah, he just Bullet Seeds me, and that'll take out my Donphan, which is alright because now I can just come in and revenge kill this Breloom. So I decided that the best would be my Diddy Kong here, because I'm predicting him to use like a Mach Punch, so I'll just go for the Vacuum Wave, and since I outspeed it, I'll be able to outspeed it on the priority too. So he goes back into his Red here, and I'm just like, okay, this thing outspeeds me, so I gotta get out of here, and I predict, I don't know, I just predict a special attack, and I know my Wizpig can take a few special attacks. So he Thunderbolts, and that does more damage than I would have hoped. I set up my light screen here, which is pretty good. I don't know, he must predict my switch here into, what's it called, my Crunch or whatever, and goes for the Focus Blast, which is good, because I'm able to get up my Reflect now after he misses. So he takes me out here, and I'm like, alright, that's fine, my Wizpig has done his job, he's got my dual screen up, and now it's time to go out and, you know, demolish this thing. So I predict him to switch here, and I go for the Pursuit, and this does a fuckload. And he goes out into his Hide, which, again, I don't see how this looks anything like Hide. And I go out into my Choice Specs Blastoise named Tip Top, as he flings and Toxics me, which is alright. I mean, doesn't really matter. It's Blastoise. I don't really care if it has Toxic on it. He's not a wall or anything. So he protects here, and I reveal that I'm going to go for the Focus Blast, but then he makes a good move and switches anyways, as I predict him to stay in, and I switch out into Banjo. So I get my Flame Orb and my Jolly Feet going, and I predict the switch here, and I go for a Swords Dance, but he stays in and Seismic Tosses. So I'm like, okay, that's pretty good prediction, bro. So here I go for the close combat. I'm like, okay, after a Swords Dance, this should be able to take this thing out. And it does just over half, and I'm like, holy shit, Chansey, what the hell? So then he Seismic Tosses again, and get more burn damage. I'm like, I'm about dead, right? So he withdraws, and I predict this, so I go for the Facade. And I thought this would do more than half, but it clearly doesn't, so I'm like, shit. And he's just going to protect here and let the burn take me out. So yeah. He gets more poison heal damage. And I'm going to go into my Tip Top, and this time I predict him to stay in, and I go for the Ice Beam, but he switches out to Chansey, and I'm like, shit. This thing is just going to heal up now, and I can't even scratch this thing, man. I don't know. And I go into my Diddy Kong, and he wishes, and now I predict him to switch here, so I go for another Nasty Claw, which is a stupid move by me. I don't even know what I'm doing at this point. I don't know, I was a bit frustrated that he's just pretty much taken his OU team and slapped new names on it. So, yeah. So I go for the Vacuum Wave here, and I thought I'd do more than that, but I guess, I don't know, it's a Vacuum Wave, it's a pretty weak attack. And he seismic tosses and takes me out, and I'm like, well, I'm pretty much done here now. I don't think there's anything I can do to win this. So, yeah, I earthquake, and that does nowhere near enough once again. And he toxics me, and I'm like, shit, well, he's probably going to switch out here into something flying, so I'm just going to go into Blastoise. I thought he'd go into Gliscor or something, but instead he goes out into this thing, and I'm like, oh shit. So I predict the Thunderbolt, and I go out into my Crunch again. And he does go for the Thunderbolt. Good for me. And I go for the Crunch and take him out. Now, here's where I'm like, okay, seriously, dude, really? Really? This doesn't even make any sense. He sends out his Ditto, which he named Eric, and I'm just like, okay, how does that at all look like Eric? I mean, it's just a gelatinous blob. So, yeah, at this point I've lost. There's nothing I can do. That thing in one hit both of my pokes and it outspeeds me. I'm completely fucked. So, yeah. Good game, I guess, man. I really don't know what to say about your team. It's kind of not really a theme at all. And, yeah, so rate, comment, and subscribe.